Overall numbers, 52 cents per share. That was a lot better than analysts were looking for at 46 cents on the estimates. Revenue also coming in better than expected, $9.4 billion in revenue. The expectation was 9.1. That marked 10% revenue growth for Nike overall. Now, when it comes to Nike, it's such a global company. You've got to look at the different geographies. First, you go to China, because that's been a huge source of growth and a concern for investors about the slowdown. China's still looking very strong for Nike, with revenue growth up 27% in China. For North America, growth up 9% in the quarter. That was a lot better than expected as well, especially for a market that's so important that has recently turned around from negative growth. Only other thing I wanted to point out was gross margin, which also came in better than expected and speaks to what is happening in Nike right now. Gross margin's 43.8%. The expectation was 43.6%. Better innovations is leading consumers to pay higher prices. Talking about the Vapor Max and a lot of other innovations that Nike has called out. So overall, looks like a good quarter in a tough economic environment. Remember, Mike, this is a company that gets 60% of its sales outside the U.S. Last quarter, they disappointed because they didn't take up guidance because of the strong dollar. So a lot of investors were nervous, especially about that bottom line number. But this looks like a beat, which follows Nike's track record of beating. I think they've done it 10 of the last 10 quarters. Guidance gets discussed in the conference call.
Right.
So we're going to learn a little bit more about their outlook for Europe, for the dollar, for some of the geographies, but the underlying business, and you can see that in the margin numbers and the sales numbers, looks very strong for Nike.
8% move. In fact, the options market was predicting about a 7 or 8% move one way or the other in these earnings. So clearly the stakes were kind of high just because of the macro environment and the way the market's been under pressure. And obviously that's about what we got here is about. You know, it's striking. CEO quotes tell you the priorities of the company. The first thing that it says, Mark Parker, Nike's ambitious digital transformation driving strong results.
All he talks about is digital. He's going to open the call talking about that as well. Digital and direct to consumer, it's been a huge focus. And the reason probably also for the big stock move is it sold off so sharply.
Yes.
It's still up for the year, but a lot of the winners got sold in this sell-off, and Nike included. It's also in the crosshairs of the trade fight as well, with such large international exposures. Right now, soaring more than 8.5%.
Yeah, more than 20% off its high before this after hours.